Welcome in, Lakewood basketball fans, to the second game of the day on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Pat Hayes, Grant Gray, Danny Arth again behind the camera and back with you tonight. And Pat, it's good that Lakewood gets to come back out on the hardwood and get up and down because last night was not their night. They fell to Holy Name in a game that was over pretty early in the third quarter, and Lakewood will certainly look to bounce back, but it'll be a tall task with the Padua Bruins coming in to Lakewood High School.
Yeah, it definitely will be. It's good to get back after a rough one last night. But this is a tough matchup. You know, Padua was good. Their record really doesn't tell the whole story. You know, they've had some really close games, up and down games. So we'll see which team comes out tonight for them.
Padua comes into the game. Comes into this game at 6-7. They recently lost a tight one to VASJ. They had a win against Normandy. Lost a 2-point game to Walsh Jesuit. They got one of the tougher schedules in the area. They play a lot of good non-conference games. They played Lutheran West in a non-conference game, and they are coming into tonight's game with a lot of fire ready to go. They did not play last night, Pat, so they're going to be a little more fresh than the Rangers. But you look over to the Rangers side, and they are going to have their hands full with these Bruins, but we talked to them before the game. They're ready to put last night past them and get back onto the good winning ways that they have at home a few times this year.
Yeah, definitely, Grant. They want to move past last night, and these kids are young. You know, playing back-to-back's nothing for them these days.
It will be a good game, we believe, here on the Lakewood Sports Channel, presented by First Federal of Lakewood, NewCastle Roofing, Harrington Moving, and Journey Basketball Club. And, Pat, you know, Lakewood had a chance to get back in. It was down to about 9 points at one point yesterday in the second half, but Holy Name was just lighting it up from three. We'll see a little different team in Padua. They are way more athletic, like to get to the rim, and like to really get downhill with their drives. What's Lakewood going to have to do to challenge the Padua offense?
You know, they gotta get back on defense, and they gotta protect the rim. You know, they got some bigs. I mean, Jesse Hayes is all a 6'7", and he's gonna be a tough cover tonight for the Rangers.
It will be a good game here on the Lakewood Sports Channel on this Saturday night prime time. We had the girls' senior day in a win over Normandy this afternoon. We were really happy to bring you that one and celebrate our two seniors on the girls' side. But now it will be Lakewood going into the game tonight, hoping to get another win on their schedule and get some momentum as they finish out the rest of the GLC conference next week. And, Pat, you look at last night's game, there were some bright spots. Who stood out for you on the Lakewood side that had a good game last night and really brought the energy?
You know, it's Andre Hollenberg for me. I think he's put a nice little stretch together of really being able to attack the other team's defense. If it's man or zone, he's been being able to get in the zone and making good passes and finding open guys. Another bright spot has been Braden Volcanzic, you know, who hasn't been getting a ton of minutes, but the past 2 or 3 games he's been getting more. And, you know, he knocked down some shots last night, you know, a little Dirk Nowitzki style with the little fadeaway, and also banked in a 3. So guys like that have really stepped up in their new roles.
It will be a good night tonight. We'll see a lot of guys getting into the game tonight. Coach Kamak going to be looking for some combinations that will work for the Rangers to finish off conference play. And like we said, the Lakewood Sports Channel is brought to you by First Federal of Lakewood. They are a proud sponsor of Lakewood High School, and they are rooted in all the communities they serve. First Federal of Lakewood has supported the personal and business banking needs of their customers since 1935. Visit ffl.net to learn more today. And as that buzzer sounds, we'll get you ready for the starting lineups and the National Anthem here from Lakewood High School. This will be a fun one. Lakewood and Padua, a couple of friendly rivals coming in tonight's game here on Saturday night. We're so glad you're joining us on the Lakewood Sports Channel. But now we'll take it to the PA announcer for the National Anthem and our starting fives. A lovely rendition of the Star Spangled Banner for Chris Burns. He did that during the soccer season, Pat, and it was always my favorite to start off a game with a Chris Burns National Anthem. We're so glad a Lakewood parent can get us started here tonight, and getting us started down on the court is the starting five for Lakewood and Padua. For Lakewood, they will run out the same starting five, and their game against Holy Name, they have Marcel M.J. Grayer, Hakeem Karan, Drew Jablonowski, and Michael Hamden, with Andre Hollenberg rounding out the starting five. Head coach Alex Kammock. And for the Padua Bruins, coached by Brian Ansberry, it'll be number 1, Akilana Papula, a.k.a. AP, number 1. Jesse Hayes, number 3. Number 11, Nick Reaney. Number 12, Riley Cervenka. And number 22, Brendan Rees, the senior guard, will round it out for the Bruins. And Pat, like we said, they're going to present a little different of a challenge. Holy Name was way more of a team that liked to shoot from behind the arc, get open shooters, and really stretch you out on the perimeter. But tonight, Padua is definitely going to look to get to the rim and look to use their size and athleticism to their advantage.
Yeah, absolutely, Grant. The Rangers really got to get back on defense, make sure they protect that rim, because they didn't do a very good job of it last night in transition defense. So that's going to be a huge key, because AP gets up and down pretty quickly.
As the starting lineups are being introduced now on the court, we want to take a second to thank all of you watching at home and our sponsors on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Everybody joining us on YouTube. Malachi is rooting for Lakewood in the comments section, so thanks, Malachi, for that.
I'll be honest, Grant, Jesse Hayes is all of 6'7". They might even
Yeah, you don't see that usually when you get put in the program. Usually it adds a few inches. What were you in the program as? 6'3", 6'2"?
Maybe 5'9". I'm 5'7", 5'8" with a good pair of shoes. They might have gave me 5'9".
Coach Silva always looked out for you, Pat.
Absolutely.
As Padua will huddle up there on the sideline, and Lakewood will get their starters introduced over here. And Pat, we are really glad to be bringing you Lakewood basketball on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Want to give a big shout out to NewCastle Roofing, Harrington Moving, Journey Basketball Club for sponsoring Lakewood Sports Channel, and all the fans that have supported us at home as well. And this will be a good game here, Pat. We got a good student section here. We got a good crowd on a Saturday night. We have the girls christen the gym already today with a win versus Normandy. And, you know, Lakewood has had little success in their non-conference schedule, but their non-conference schedule has been really, really good, Pat.
Yes, it really has. I mean, the teams that the Rangers have played, you know, starting the season is getting them ready for these tests, you know, that they have right now. And Padua also has a tough schedule, so it'll be a good matchup between the two.
As we get ready here from Lakewood High School, Padua and Lakewood will send out their starting fives to get ready for this one. It will be M.J. Grayer and Jesse Hayes going to the center circle. And Lakewood favorite Don Reese is going to be the head official on this game tonight.
MJ's done a good job of winning the tips. This one's going to be a little bit more challenging than a couple previous ones.
Yes, this will be one of his strength of schedule. This will be number 1 up there. Coach Kammock and Brian Ansberry, two good friends facing off. That's why I love these non-conference games, Pat. You get to see some familiar faces, some guys that you're friends with in the area. This is what high school basketball is all about.
Absolutely, yeah. It's always, you know, it's fun to play, but it's also tough because, you know, these guys are very competitive as well.
Bragging rights on the line here as Padua and Lakewood set to tip it off from the corner of Butts and Franklin. So glad you're joining us on the Lakewood Sports Channel, presented by First Federal of Lakewood. Padua going to work it out here with motion around the perimeter to start it off. Take inside. They're going to find Reeves right away in the corner. No good, but a nice rebound by Cervenka as Padua will get us extra possession here off the offensive rebound. Here comes Reese barreling in. They're going to say, he's traveled as the good defense walled up the paint by the Rangers and had nowhere to go for number 11, the senior guard.
Drew Jablonowski's going to sleep well tonight, man, battling down in the post.
Certainly going to be working hard down there as Padua goes with a little half-court trap. Hakeem Karan in the corner for 3. That one no good, and Jesse Hayes pulls down his first rebound of the night, and he'll get it off to Akilana Papula, the talented 5'9" guard, the senior. They call him AP around Padua Hall. AP working against Hakeem Karan. That'll be a great matchup all night. The skip pass found Reeves, but he thought better of it.
It's already a better energy to start the game for the Rangers.
You had to think that was one of the coaches pleased with the team in the locker room before this one, Pat, is to bring the energy. They got to have juice, and they got to be into the game. You can already see the bench clapping way more. Yeah. Those are intangibles that don't get put into the box score, but they can really help set the tone for any team.
Oh, absolutely, Grant. And that's, games like that, you'll be okay with either outcome as long as they bring the energy and the effort.
As Hamden throws that one away, and hopefully the turnovers will not be plaguing the Rangers like they did the other night.
Yeah, they definitely got to limit them against a tough Padua team.
As Padua will inbound it here. Like we said, AP, the senior guard for Padua, will be going against Hakeem the Dream on the perimeter all night. That'll be one to watch as Hollenberg gets his hand in there. Three-pointer from Padua, no good. Grayer fighting for the rebound there. And they're going to say Reaney was able to hit it off Grayer before it went out of bounds.
Yeah, you got to limit second chance opportunities because we really got to box out tonight against the bigger Padua Bruins.
Baseline out of bounds here as they'll set a pick for big Jesse Hayes. Cervenka rolled off it, but AP so quick into that paint. Lakewood doing a nice job of walling off the paint so far already. They're going to want to bring the energy on the defensive end and help themselves on the offensive end.
One thing that you don't see very often is Jesse doesn't have Hayes doesn't probably have a guy like Drew Jabanowski on him all the time, pestering him, trying to get in
right.
front.
It's at a different altitude for the big man.
So he's got a guy on him at all times. Trying to fight to get over top. So it's going to wear on him as well.
Hayes gets the front there by Jabanowski, and that pass too tall.
Got to grab that. Grab it.
Couldn't get that one to go, but it will be Lakewood tipping it out of bounds. So Padua will retain possession. 3-year starter, Jesse Hayes, the junior, 6'7", the St. Adelbert. I love to have the grade schools on here for Padua. A little bio, gets you a little idea of where these guys are from. Working around here as number 24, Benico Roman will check in, the senior guard for the first time tonight. AP's got a tough task getting around Hakeem Karan.
Yeah, Hakeem does a really good job of taking guys out of the game.
This one being worked around. Grayer poked in and just a little too physical there. MJ had a good defensive stance. Didn't know if he needed to go in and poke that one away as Lakewood will be assessed the personal. Padua happy to take their time, Pat. They've had a couple long possessions so far here, and you don't see them making many mistakes.
No, and the Rangers have done a pretty good job defensively to start this game.
That one ducked inside, and Karan sniffed that one out quickly and was able to deny the post entry.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of helping on Hayes. Jab's doing a great job of fighting, and Hakeem and MJ are doing a great job.
Right, like you said, it'll be a team effort because Jabs is really going to work hard down there. So you'll see Grayer on him for a time, and you'll definitely see some different guys giving him a look as Karan's going to break out in the fast break. Pushes past AP, and Hakeem Karan with the Euro step and in. Our first points of this ball game.
That'd be the longest no score this season
that was right.
For the Rangers.
A little different tempo than last night with Holy Name coming out hot and knocking down some perimeter shots. We're going to see a little different ball game here tonight. It might come down to fundamentals. And boy, that one came all the way from Padua High School as AP knocks it down from deep. Hakeem really underneath, and that one is good. It's good to see Hakeem, the Dream, getting off to a hot start here after a slow night last night. Another steal there.
And he's being very
What a matchup this is going to be as number 4, Anthony Perry, gets set to check in.
I'm not sure what the confusion is here.
Some substitution confusion here as it looked like Hayes went out, but it was actually number 12, Cervenka, who's getting subbed for, the freshman.
I think he wants to take a break after Drew Jab just pestering him so far.
Hakeem working against AP, forcing him away from that paint, away from the perimeter there. Nice job by Karan, but we already seen AP's range here tonight.
Yeah, It's
little too physical on the screen there, and that'll be a moving pick. Number 3, Jesse Hayes.
Honestly, Grant, you'll live with that deep ball from
Oh,
AP
sure.
because you're so worried about him getting to the hoop that if he wants to shoot a 30-footer, go ahead.
Grayer to inbound it here. Lakewood looking to keep it up. It's been all Hakeem the Dream so far in this first quarter. He's got all 4 points on some nice acrobatic layups. Jablonowski underneath. Break the press. Bank it off the glass and in. Drew Jablonowski's on the board. He had a great offensive game last night, Pat. He really played well. Probably his best offensive game as a Ranger.
Yeah, he definitely did, and it's good to see him get back to the winning ways. It's a thing of beauty when a team runs a press offense to success.
Coach Kama clapping it up on the sidelines. He is loving this Lakewood defensive effort so far. Grayer got a piece of that one and sent it back. MJ Grayer. Lakewood going to work it around. Hamden takes a 3, no good. Jablonowski pulls down the offensive board. And Lakewood's energy is unmatched right now. Hakeem's 3, no good, but a nice effort by Lakewood to keep their possessions alive. That drive right to the hoop wasn't cut off, but luckily the layup was missed by number 11, Reaney. Hakeem working off the screen. He's going to work against big Jesse Hayes. He was bumped. Hollenberg, his spot from the corner pocket, knock it in. Timeout, Andre Hollenberg. The 8-ball sinks it.
You could not ask for a better start for the Rangers, defensively and offensively.
And they're doing the things that Lakewood didn't do last night, but we know they're capable of this stuff, and that's what we were kind of talking about with the coaching staff at the end of last night's game, Pat. We were saying this team has so much more to give, so much more effort left that they probably could have left out there last night, and we knew they weren't going to stay down for long.
No, and I mean, these kids are resilient. You get knocked down one game, you come back the next, and they completely forgot about last night by the way they're playing. And
I don't see any sense that their legs are tired or feeling heavy or they're having trouble bouncing back from last night. All the starters that we started last night are starting tonight, and they've come out, run the floor. Hakeem Karan, he's got a tough defensive assignment, but he's gotten out in transition a few times. Hollenberg's going to continue his hot shooting from out there. We're going to get Miles Harper into the game, who had a big impact these last few games. And if you're Lakewood, you got to be encouraged by that, like you said. But it will be really interesting to see how this talented, athletic Padua squad is going to counter, and I think we're going to have a good one on our hands.
Yeah, Padua's going to punch. It's just when. They've missed a couple shots. They're going to get theirs. It's just, you got to weather the storm.
We want to give a big shout-out to everybody watching at home. Give us a big shout-out on YouTube if you're joining us there, on Twitter, and on Boxcast as well, as we're brought to you by First Federal of Lakewood here in this first quarter at beautiful Lakewood High School in the East Gym. Hayes going to set the screen there, and they're going to post him up early. Harper drew the assignment there with Jablonowski on the bench, and right away Hayes is able to turn over the shoulder and bank that one home.
Yeah, it's tough.
Nice play design there, though, Pat. They got exactly what they wanted down low.
Yeah, he just didn't get over top fast enough. He was trying to they got it into him pretty quickly, and easy bucket.
A little smaller of a lineup here. You might expect MJ Grayer to maybe draw some minutes here on Hayes to try to limit his impact down low. Hakeem's still in there, though, Pat, after a good I think Coach Kamock's liking what he's seeing, his on-ball defense on AP.
Yeah, and Andy's doing it at both ends of the floor. I mean, he's getting some easy buckets in transition, which you love to see.
Papula averaging over 20 points a game so far on the season for Padua. He's their do-it-all man. He gets on the ground. He draws charges. He can pull up from the mid-range. He can knock it down from deep. We've seen some acrobatic finishes from the senior guard, number 1. He is going to be fun to watch. We're glad you're able to take in his game on the Lakewood Sports Channel here tonight. Timeout by Coach Ansberry, longtime assistant over at St. Ed's, where we got to see him once a year. And in tournament time, he had a great relationship over there and coached a lot of the guys that I graduated with in the same year, and well respected in the basketball community as with Coach Kamock. So it's just this two guys that are on the same page with their mentality about basketball. Pat, they were sitting and catching up before this one, and they talk a lot about what they see in the area as it relates to the competition.
Yeah, they have very similar philosophies. They love the game. Coach Flannery's coaching tree is where Ansberry comes from. even though it's Lakewood ads, Coach Kamok has a good relationship with Coach Flannery, and
just one night of the year he does it.
Exactly.
As Harper will inbound this one. Hakeem, nice position underneath, but that bounce pass just off his frame. AP, man, look at the speed coming the other way. Pushed it the other way. A little too much of a push. However, that one goes off his ankle and out of bounds. And boy, Pat, you can see that coast-to-coast speed from AP, just a little too out of control.
He can really fly. I mean, it's hard to sprint ahead and get in front of him because he is so fast.
Lakewood doing a nice job keying in on that assignment. You got to make somebody else beat you on this Padua squad. You can't let AP beat you, which he's done a time or two to teams in the area this year so far. Padua 6-7 on the year. Lakewood coming into this game at 2-8.
Yeah, if you can take Hayes and AP out of the game, you have a really good chance of winning.
A lot of shooting on the floor right now for the Rangers. Hollenberg, Harper, and Volcanzic, just to name a few. Hampton and Gray are also out there for the Rangers. That one into the passing lane, but nice job by Hollenberg to cut off the transition outlet pass. Hollenberg getting in to it there as Grayer went and got in the passing lane. Lakewood is all over the ground, all over the floor, and this jump ball will give him the ball back. What an outstanding individual effort from Andre Hollenberg.
Yeah, you can't ask for any better effort. You turn the basketball over, you see people mope and, kind of loaf back on defense, and he gets back and gets a steal.
As we are so glad that the energy is high on this one tonight because it makes for a great broadcast. All of our fans tuning in and watching this one, all of our fans in the YouTube comments, thanks for joining us. As Harper knocks down the three and the sharp shooting Miles Harper picks up where his percentages have left off this year. Pat, he's been on automatic from deep.
Yeah, he's been getting good looks and knocking them down.
Hollenberg scrambling, cut out there for the Rangers as well now. As that three's no good. Volcanzic had good positioning as the layup and the putback no good, but they're going to say Hayes was hit on the arm. Nick Reaney flew in there for the first offensive rebound, and Hayes was fouled on the putback.
Yeah, you can't give him a second chance. He's a big body. He's going to get taps and controlled taps and putbacks all the time.
As Hayes will line up his first free throw. No good. Oh, that one tricked me from our perch here in the bleachers of Lakewood High School. Hayes got the friendly bounce there as Jablonowski will check back in.
Yeah, he did such a good job to start the game on Hayes. You want to keep him in the game.
As that free throw up and good, makes both. And it's a 12-7 game, Lakewood with a 5-point lead.
It also gives Miles Harper a chance to use his legs more on the offensive end, where he's been giving us this team pretty good offense.
Had a nice spin move and finish the other night and really was able to get some nice buckets against Holy Name, but his signature game of the year was against Normandy, having 18 points, knocking down 5 threes. He really put on a good performance against the Invaders a few games ago.
Yeah, he single-handedly kept us in that game. I mean, we talked about it last night. We didn't shoot the ball well at all, and he was the bright spot there.
Volcanzic underneath. Hollenberg found himself under the basket, got his own rebound, but the length of Padua was too much. AP finds himself open. That is not going to connect for the guard. As I was halfway to saying that is not a problem for him to shoot from that range, but that one just off the mark.
It's a good look. It just he rushed it a little bit.
Didn't hesitate on that one. Less than 20 seconds remaining here in the first quarter as Harper will hold for the last shot. He's working against number 10, George Gannett, in for the first time tonight. AP pokes that one away, but they're going to call a timeout by Coach Kamok with just 8 seconds remaining. That was a very well timed out. I think, Pat, if the GLC or Northeast Ohio Coaches Association is going to give a best timing for the timeout taking, I think Coach Kamok's going to be in the running this year. He's saved Lakewood from some disasters.
He's done a really nice job. Well, the big thing there is he wanted Miles Harper to have the ball with under 10 seconds, and then they did a dribble handoff with cut, and he wanted Miles to get the ball back, so that's why he called the timeout.
As we will finish off the rest of the 8 seconds here in the corner, and we really want to thank First Federal of Lakewood for their support of the Lakewood Sports Channel. They are a proud sponsor of Lakewood High School, and they are rooted in the communities they serve. First Federal has supported the personal and business banking needs of its customers since 1935. Visit ffl.net to learn more, as Hayes will guard the inbound. A tough task for Jablonowski to get this one in.
Grant, I'm just happy that you're still awake right now after how busy your day was.
Pat, I couldn't be more alert. If I tried, and Miles Harper tries and banks that three in, his second three of the quarter, and he is greeted with a rush of Rangers off the bench, and Miles Harper has had a really nice first quarter and has put Lakewood ahead 15-7 here in the first quarter. And Pat, that might not have been the prettiest shot, but they all count the same in the scorebook.
I think he might have called that one. It looked like he really was trying to bank that bad boy in there.
Just like First Federal, the bank was open whenever you need it. And we are so happy you're joining us. This has been shaping up to be a great one on the Lakewood Sports Channel so far. Attention all Hoopers in 8th to 11th grade. The Journey Basketball Club is holding its first annual 2020 Hooper Showcase on April 2nd and June 4th at the Splash Zone in Oberlin, Ohio. Come show your skills with 3-on-3, 4-on-4, or 5-on-5 games and build your player profile. The entire day will be recorded throughout the facility with multiple opportunities for media coverage. If you're interested in getting your team signed up, contact the Journey Basketball Club at gmail.com or contact Joe Seguin, the director of the tournament, for more information today. And our second quarter is going to be brought to you by NewCastle Roofing here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. But, Pat, boy, did we see the Lakewood Rangers of old out there tonight. They shaked off the cobwebs from last night's game very well to start this first quarter and find themselves in the lead by 8.
Yeah, that was you play that for 3 more quarters, and the Rangers will get a W.
And a little luck, last night they didn't have a ton of luck. Holy Name made some tough shots, made some threes that you wouldn't expect them to make perhaps, and luck is shifting back to the Rangers' way and I think that's the basketball gods coming back on their side with the energy and the tenacity they've played with in the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, luck, and honestly, they're playing just harder and better on defense.
And I'll tell you what, Pat, I don't think AP Akalani Papula has faced a tougher defense so far this season. He has been all out of sorts. The 20-point-a-game scorer for the Padua Bruins is having a heck of a time against Hakeem Karan.
Yeah, he does a really good job at taking guys out of games, and he's done it multiple times this season.
Rini tried to split the double team there, and they're going to say he shuffled the feet. And Osel Abadiran in for the game for the first time. We'll inbound it for the Rangers. Cut. Karan, Jablonowski, and Harper flank him in the 5 on there for the court.
Yeah, like you spoke on it, before the game. Rangers are going to try some different things, non-conference game, kind of see what rotations work.
Jablonowski, nice move underneath. Couldn't get the layup to go, but a nice stop and pop from the sophomore. There goes AP, coast to coast, getting to his spot, and they're going to call a charge. Lakewood doing all it can to frustrate Papula, the senior guard, and boy, he is having a heck of a first half trying to navigate this Ranger defense. That time it was cut dry on the charge.
Yeah, it really was. He did a good job, but I think mostly that was on AP being a little out of control.
You could see he's trying to get to his spots and trying to impact this game, Pat. As Cut found himself underneath. Nice shot fake. Karan, no hesitation from the corner, no good. But there's Albadiran on the offensive rebound. Jablonowski tees up a 3. No good, but Lakewood hounding the offensive glass. And it was
what a save.
Number 4, Anthony Perry, and number 12, Riley Cervenka, that kept that one alive for the Bruins. AP knocks that down, and you could see the jump shooting prowess of the senior guard from Charles A. Mooney. Harper working against him now. We saw on film, Pat, AP loves to get to that mid-range and stop and pop. That is his shot. As Karan threw that into the waiting arms of Cervenka. Down the other way, the left-handed layup, no good. Flying in was number 11, Nick Rainey, but they're going to say he stepped on the touchline as Grayer checks in for Albadiran. Nice shift for Albadiran there.
These are the breaks the Rangers didn't get last night. They come down, and that's a layup made last night. Tonight, it's rattling in and out, and we're catching a break.
As Grayer will inbound this one to Harper. So glad you're joining us on the Lakewood Sports Channel, presented by NewCastle Roofing here in this second quarter.
And you appreciate Hakeem's hustle to get back on to affect that
Travel
shot.
there from Khaled Cut as Lucas Seguin will check in to the game, the freshman. Nice shift from Cut as well, drawing that charge there. Everybody playing their role tonight, Pat. Nobody's trying to get outside of what the coaching staff has specified for them, and everybody's done a really good job to get Lakewood into a 6-point lead so far.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of just knowing their roles, playing within themselves.
The alley-oop presented itself there, Pat. They ran a nice little down screen for Hayes underneath, but luckily Grayer got into that one before the lob could be thrown. We've seen Hayes throw down a couple of dunks on tape. Not Pat Hayes, Jesse Hayes, for those wondering at home.
Back in my heyday. Maybe on a mini hoop.
AP pops it from deep. That one no good. A long rebound comes out. Jablonowski, flat tire. And it will be Lakewood's ball. Nice job by Jablonowski sticking his nose in there. Otherwise could have ended up in a Bruins paw.
Yeah, Pat Hayes didn't step too much inside the three-point arc. I stayed out and shot it.
As they're going to reverse the direction on this one.
Interesting. You know, and you know what? It might not go the Rangers' way, but you do enjoy when officials get together to discuss a call and get it right.
Got to take the time to make the calls, as we can't appreciate our referees enough here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. We can't have the games without them. So big shout out to all our Ohio high school referees, and a big shout out to number 12, Riley Cervenka, the freshman guard. Pat, he doesn't look like a freshman out there.
No, he's
nice
poised.
shot. Made a couple nice plays for him so far for head coach Brian Ansberry.
Two freshmen going at it right here. Pretty cool to see.
Seguin and Cervenka matched up. The future of these two programs here. Blocking charge on Karan, and he's going to say it was a 50-50 ball. But no matter, as he'll get rung up for the personal. 15-12. This one's tightening up a little bit here, Pat.
Yeah, the Rangers need to take care of the basketball and get back into chip away, run good offense, get good looks.
Is tonight's game about transition? Is tonight's game about getting out and running, Pat? What do you see that Lakewood's doing offensively that you want to see them continue?
I think they're just being more poised, taking their time. I mean, it seems like the Rangers get in issues when they rush.
Right.
And they take not the best shots.
And when they're decisive, it eliminates some of those, errant passes or maybe some of those careless passes that we saw last night.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, my theory is if you're taking a shot you can get whenever you want, it's maybe not a good shot. Get in the groove of offense and knock it down.
Jablonowski working it around. Seguin on the wing. Harper working against Gonnet as that three-pointer no good. And AP will push it coming down the other way for the Bruins. Nice in and out crossover there as the floater off the backboard is in. And nice job to stop and avoid the charge by AP. You see some of his finishing ability on that one. Lakewood looking a bit out of sorts on offense here. The freshman gets it, and he is hounded by number 2, Tony Rosa, in the game for the first time for the Bruins. Karan underneath. Going to take the mid-range, and that one is good. You don't see Hakeem the Dream knocking him down from the elbows very much, but a welcome sight for this Rangers offense.
You don't see very many players nowadays even shoot mid-rangers, so it's nice to see.
As Seguin pulls it down, looking ahead, pushing it across half court. Seguin pulls it back. Grayer going to work with it now. Seguin thought about a triple. He's going to fire it. No good. As Jablonowski hit Rosa on the rebound there. That's back the other way.
That's a shot within the offense, and it's a good look. He's a good shooter. Just didn't get it to fall.
Couple of subs in for the Rangers as number 24, Lucas George, will check in for the first time tonight. Hamden's back out there. Hollenberg, after getting some treatment for a bloody nose, is back out there. Hollenberg put in a great defensive shift in the first quarter. 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter, brought to you by NewCastle Roofing.
Yeah, this group, I'll tell you what, the group in the game right now gives really good effort. I mean, you got Luke George, who just plays at 100 miles an hour. You got Drew Jabb, who plays at 100, and Andre. These guys are working like crazy defensively, and they are also offensively skilled.
That one off the hands of Hayes, who's working against the the sophomore down low. AP drove to the hoop, and they're going to say he was fouled by number 3, Andre Hollenberg. Coach Kamak imploring his Rangers to wall up.
Yeah, the Rangers, they're battling. I mean, Luke George is one of our biggest guys in our program right now, so, you put him in the game with some length, try to affect Hayes.
As AP puts up the first one, and that's good. He'll shorten the Ranger lead to 2. As Jablonowski will sit down. You can just see Jablonowski when he comes off. He's always, just a little out of breath, red in the face, because he is really working his assignment and playing his role as hard as he can.
Yes, he really is. That's a tough offensive rebound. Long free throw box out stuff.
What a finish by AP, number 1 for the Bruins. He touched the ground with his offhand and still finished after being bumped on his way to the hole. That was a tough finish for the senior guard. Hollenberg gets into the middle, cut off by the Bruin back line. Karan tried the spin move and lost the handle. Lakewood will try to work it around. They've been in quite the scoring drought here. As Hakeem, the Dream, with the floater on the right baseline. And Lakewood will keep the Bruins at arm's length.
Yeah, it's great to see him offensively succeed.
Hayes gets it down low, being guarded by Volcanzic. That triple no good as Hollenberg battled around down low with number 22, Rees, and Lakewood's going to have this one.
Yeah, good possession. They came out and showed a little trap there to kind of give him a different look and tried to speed him up a little bit.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. This has been a good one on Lakewood Sports Channel. So glad you're tuning in tonight as Karan's 3 just off the front iron. As Padua pushes it the other way. Nice take inside. Layup no good by number 11, Reaney. Hayes had a couple chances at a putback, and Reaney finally ended up back with it, and will go to the line to shoot a pair. That will be the 7th foul on the Rangers, putting Padua in the bonus for the rest of the way.
Yeah, they a lot of tapping. Coach Ansbury calling Hayes over to let him know, hey, just grab it with 2 hands and go put it back up.
Certainly.
I thought we were going to get a charge call there. I thought Andre did a good job at,
Yeah, Lakewood's done a nice job of taking a couple charges the past few games. You can't affect the game by the rim if you're the Rangers. That's just not what is in the cards for this personnel, but they can certainly find the out-of-control drivers.
Yes, they definitely can. I mean, no reason to go jump and try to block shots. Just wall up, take charges.
Minute 30 left for the Rangers here as Karan works it. Underneath, puts it off the rim, no good, and there's Hayes pulling that one down with 2 hands. Hakeem dropped behind on the play, fell over. AP works it into the middle. He was tripped on his way through the paint, and they're going to give that foul to, I believe, on they're shooting 1-and-1. I believe they're going to give it to Mikey Hamden, if I'm not mistaken, and I've been mistaken before.
I wasn't sure if it was Hakeem or Michael. Hopefully not Hakeem. I thought he kind of fell on his own, but.
Sure.
Yeah.
Rangers doing a nice job of keeping the Bruins out of the paint on the straight line drives. It's just been a couple of nice finishes by AP. It's more on the offensive rebounds where you're seeing the points in the paint coming for the men from Parma in the brown and orange.
Absolutely.
1 minute and 19 seconds till halftime. Stay tuned for our All-Stars at the half. We'll also have our number 1 Lakewood Rangers fan, Corey Workman, on at half to give us an update on what he's seeing all things Lakewood Rangers. I think Corey's starting to podcast here soon, so we got to get all the down low on that. We love when Corey comes on. He provides such a welcome Ranger fandom and spirit for us on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Lakewood will look to capitalize here as Padua has overtaken them in the points category. 20-19, the Bruins lead. AP went for the steal there, wow. And Hakeem, the Dream, knocks it in and has a chance at a 3-point play, just what the doctor ordered from Hakeem Karan.
That was impressive.
Couldn't convert the free throw on that one as Hakeem's attempt was in and out.
I thought we were
Padua's pushing it the other way, and a foul underneath. And boy, Pat, you would like to see some of these younger guys wall up and get their hands in a legal guarding position, because when you're slapping the ball for a full-speed driver towards the rim, more often than not, you're going to be in an illegal guarding position.
Yeah, it's you know, and it could be, you know, this is only Luke George's second game, you know, playing varsity basketball, so there is some jitters there. But yeah, you want to see these guys get in a little bit better defensive positioning.
21-20 off the Hakeem layup there, as the second free throw no good for Rini. Hollenberg with the in and out. 46 seconds remaining. Karan working on the outside. He's going to put up the three, no good. Nice box out and rebound by Hayes there. And Padua's going to push it, Pat. They want a couple more possessions before they get in the locker room.
Yeah, they definitely do. And
that one put up from deep by Rees. And it'll be Karan pushing it the other way. We got a fast-paced end to this half, Pat.
yeah, you like Hakeem going towards the hoop. You know, he hasn't hit from outside very much tonight. He's done most of his damage at the rim. You'd love to see him keep attacking.
As Karan was fouled there, but only the fourth foul on the Bruins, so Lakewood will have it baseline out of bounds here. I'd like to see if you can get something from Volcanzic. He had a great game last night. Haven't seen him in the score box, the box score just yet. There he is in the corner, right on cue, and Volcanzic knocks it down.
Grant Graves, the wizard, knowing what's going to happen before it happens.
Well, you know, the viewers at home might not know this, but our commentary is played over the loudspeakers here at the gyms. No. We have great PA announcers and crowd atmosphere for that one, as Padua tried to answer that one. But Rini's three was no good. Harper tried another desperation heave at the end of the second quarter, no good. But boy, Lakewood finishes strong at the end of the second quarter, and will head into the locker room with a 4-point lead, 24-20, the Rangers over the Bruins. Good half, Pat, a lot of energy there. It should be a really exciting second half. We're going to have Corey, our number one fan, on here at halftime. We're going to have our All-Stars at the half as well, so don't go anywhere. Stick around. We'll have more Lakewood Ranger basketball for you coming up. Other way, other way. There you go. Got our #1 Lakewood Sports Channel fan here, Corey, on the broadcast. Corey, what do you think so far?
Great game. We need to stay out of foul trouble, though.
Yeah, Lakewood looking a lot better than last night. They've done a really good job of getting to the rim. Hakeem Karan's really been impressive.
Yes.
What do you think so far about the Lakewood girls season? They won again today, this afternoon. Did you have a chance to tune in?
Yep, I was lurking in the stream. Great game. Molly Holly had a crazy senior night game.
Oh, yeah, she was knocking down those threes all night. And Lakewood Hockey has their senior night tonight over at Winterhurst. I know you're a big Lakewood Hockey fan.
Yes, I am.
Now, you might be starting a podcast about Lakewood sports. Tell me a little bit what you have planned for that.
So every week I might have a guest or two on my podcast, and we're going to talk about Lakewood sports and stuff. Some weeks I might just be by myself, but I'm going to break down all the Lakewood games and stats and stuff.
Well, I know how much these Lakewood athletes love to talk with you, Corey, so I don't think you're going to have any shortage of guests. And we might even get Pat Hayes on your podcast at some point.
Yes.
That sound fun?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what do you think is going to happen in the second half here? Give me your prediction before we bring Danny on here.
All right. We need to stay out of foul trouble. Hakeem and everybody else need to start making their three-pointers.
Yeah.
And we need to get some of our calls back on our side so we can get this W and bring it home.
You think we're going to
tonight.
get the W here?
Yep, I think we're on 1 by 5.
Awesome, Corey. Well, I love that prediction, buddy. Thanks so much for joining me tonight on the Lakewood Sports Channel.
Yep, no problem.
All right, take it easy, buddy. We're going to get Danny on here. Thank you so much.
Yep.
All right, really appreciate you taking the time, Corey. Thank you. Lakewood Sports Channel #1 fan, Corey, in the building tonight. And now Danny's going to slide in here. Danny, a good first half and a good effort by the Rangers to start this game, and there was a sorely needed start to this game for the Rangers after they had a tough night from the field last night. Who were your all-stars of the first half?
For the Lakewood side, I got Hakeem Karan. He's got 10 points right now, very aggressive all over the place, and he's the real key to the door that opens to a win for this Lakewood offense.
And if you're Lakewood, you just got to keep feeding the hot hand. You saw Braden Volcanzic knock down a 3 there. He had a good game last night too, Danny. You want to see a couple more Rangers get involved because you can bet Padua was in the locker room telling their guys to lock down on number 10.
Definitely, yes.
Who do you think was your Earth All-Star from the Padua side?
I got Akala Pablo.
Yes, AP they call him.
AP. He's got 9 points right now, shooting the ball very well. He's getting to the rim and being very aggressive.
Well, it will be a really aggressive and fast-paced second half. Danny, what's your prediction for the second half? Do you think Lakewood has it in to pull it out?
I think Lakewood's got it in him. It's been a real dogfight in a very competitive game.
There's been some tough fouls underneath, some charges, some blocks underneath. Lakewood's going to have to really make sure that they are sharing the ball and getting good looks on offense to pull this one out. Thanks, Danny. We'll look to see those Arts All-Stars in the second half and get this thing going.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. As we will have the second half here coming up on the Lakewood Sports Channel just in a moment. A classic blasting through the speakers right now as Young Jock, it's going down. Coach Higgs' favorite is serenading the crowd here at the corner of Bunsen, Franklin, and Pat. It's going down in the second half. Lakewood and Normandy locked in a tight one. Lakewood with a couple of good buckets to end the first half there, and I think Coach Higgs just got the whole gym fired up with his rendition of this Young Jock classic. as he's telling the Lakewood Rangers to defend the paint. And they're going to need to, and specifically keep Padua off the glass.
Yeah, and they've done a good job of it. You have 16 more minutes, got to finish it out.
Third quarter brought to you by Harrington Moving on the Lakewood Sports Channel, as Padua and Lakewood have 16 more minutes till the end of this one. Hollenberg's three, no good. Pulled down by Rini. And here comes Padua the other way.
Got to stop the basketball, boys.
Shot up by the freshman there, no good. As Hayes was able to pull it down, uncontested, takes a dribble, gets to the rim, and puts it in. Jesse Hayes. That's too easy for the big fella.
I honestly thought he might have walked there or got a foul, but you know what? They let it go. Play on.
Hollenberg jump stops there. The term jump stop loosely defined. As Karan cut from the corner, and Akeem the Dream puts it in for two.
Really good court vision
good
there.
Patience, yep. And good recognition by Hakeem to see that the defense had forgotten about him. As Lakewood will work it around here.
Which is crazy because he's our brightest offensive star today.
Cervenka gets into the paint. Nice take by the freshman. Hayes pulls down the rebound. Up and in, and so far, Jesse Hayes having his way here in the second half.
Padua's game plan might just be throw it at the hoop and let Jesse go get the offensive rebound.
And Pat, yes, the size is tough to combat, but you got to get a body on the big man. As Akeem, the Dream, is first on the scene here in the second half. He's been all over the place. AP launches a deep three. That one off the side iron. And Padua will regain the offensive rebound. Pat, that's 3 offensive rebounds for the Bruins so far.
And that one wasn't even Hayes, which is even a bigger issue.
And Lakewood doing a good job, tonight scoring the basketball, picking up in an area where they weren't doing so well last night. But I think playing against Holy Name that didn't – there weren't a lot of offensive rebounds to be had last night. So the Padua Bruins give you a different look, especially on the defensive end. So they're going to have to find their man and box out when that shot goes up.
Yeah, they really do. Yeah, last night there wasn't offensive rebounds to be had.
As Lakewood works this one around. Padua and Lakewood locked in a tight one. Grayer comes from the help side. Hayes looked like he traveled there, but he grabs that one with one hand. Jablonowski hits the hardwood. Padua going to work it around again. AP gets to the middle. That one bounces off his shoe and into the waiting arms of Hakeem Karan. Down the other side, a hard foul on Hakeem as he goes down and into the bleachers there. A tough foul on the senior. Him and AP were just traveling so fast, got tangled up there. You knew it was going to be a tough collision, but hopefully Hakeem can shake that one off.
He's a tough kid. He's a tough kid.
Absolutely. Nothing malicious there from Padua. Just, like we said, 2 high-flying athletes get up there, and sometimes those landings are pretty
like
hard.
That, Grayson Allen last night.
Yeah, nothing like that. Nothing like that at all. Tough when you got the stands right underneath there.
Yeah.
That is something that you got to watch out for. Doesn't come into play often, but good to see Hakeem knocking down the free throw, looking okay in there. Like you said, he can take a hit.
Yeah. Although he didn't get hit too much in football because he was always in the end zone.
Yeah, you were always looking at the back plate of his shoulder pads. As a couple of touches of the rim and in for Hakeem. He's come out with 7 big points already to spark the Rangers here.
Yeah, it's nice to see the Rangers extending this lead a little bit.
Padua is keeping the onus on finding Hayes, but the Rangers are doing a nice job on their first defensive effort on him.
Yeah, they're throwing a lot at him. I mean, they're doubling it. They're fronting it.
What a job by Hakeem the Dream to get out in transition again. His layup is good, and despite the tough fall, Hakeem bounces back off the mat. What an effort we've seen from number 10 so far this quarter, Pat.
Yeah, he's the difference in the quarter.
As AP thought that ball was hit, so he dribbled again, and he is going to be called for the double dribble. Want to give a big shout out to our third quarter sponsor, Harrington Moving. Around the corner or across the country, you can count on Harrington Moving to get you there. They offer packing, unpacking, moving, and storage services, and they are proudly veteran-owned. Visit harringtonmoving.us to book your next move today.
You know what? We might might be Danny Harrington might be a little bad luck. Came last night. Rangers didn't play great. Playing awesome tonight. He's not in the house.
We want to give a big shout out to Harrington Moving. We love all of our sponsors. As Lakewood works this one around the perimeter, a little bit of a different defensive look here, Pat, from Padua. Why do you think they've elected to go for that half-court trap?
They got to do something. The Rangers are kind of picking them apart in this third quarter, so they got to change it up.
Timeout by head coach Alex Kamach will bring the Rangers to the sideline as Hakeem Karan will, I think, exhaust whatever's left in that Gatorade bottle. It's been his effort that have pulled the Lakewood Rangers out to this 9-point lead.
Yeah, he's definitely the star of this game so far on both ends of the floor.
It's been a frustrating night for number one, Akalana Pupala, on the side for the Bruins. You know, the senior guard's averaging 20 a night right now, and he is a dynamic player, one of the most athletic and quickest guards in Northeast Ohio. But Hakeem's drawn the assignment and done a good job, which I think makes it even more impressive that Hakeem's had a big night on the offensive end.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, especially when he's given such an effort on the defensive end. I mean, when we played Normandy, he took Dunn out of the game, and offensively, he didn't give us too much there because he was so exhausted. He was face guarding Dunn, taking him completely out of the game. But tonight he's doing it on both ends.
As Lakewood will break the huddle here, as Coach Kamach and the rest of the staff in much higher spirits with the way this one has gone. But, Pat, it won't mean anything if Lakewood can't hold on here. It's been Lakewood coming back in some games this year. In games they've trailed, they haven't played with a lead this far into the third quarter much. The one game that comes to mind is the Parma game, which they were able to hold on. But they're doing it a little bit differently tonight, and it'll be interesting to see how the young Ranger squad handles this 9-point advantage. As a turnover there by Harper. AP goes up for the layup. He was fouled by Hamden and not able to get the layup to go.
The little late call. I think he was trying to see if it went in, he wasn't going to call it. And if it didn't, he was going to call the foul.
As Popula will go to the line to shoot a pair. First one up and in for Popula. Checking in for Padua will be number 2, Tony Rosa. Checks in for number 24, Benicio Roman, the senior guard out of St. Mary. Harper coming up. They're going to run that trap again right there, kind of a three-quarters path. They're not letting them get right across the half-court line just yet.
Just got to be patient, strong with the basketball.
As a jump ball underneath will give the ball back to Padua there. And like you said, Pat, they're got to be composed there. They're throwing the ball into some dangerous spots right now. That one ended up in the corner, and it ended back up with the Bruins.
Yeah, and this is where Coach Kamach can't really bail him out with a timeout. He only has 2 left, and there's a lot of game left. So
Certainly.
These guys got to be strong.
And the way this one's shaping up, you're going to want to be able to draw something up or draw up a press break maybe. Correct. With a few minutes remaining. Hakeem working against AP on the wing. Rosa finds himself open. Finds the freshman no good from deep. But they're going to call a loose ball hold underneath on number
Braden Volcanzic.
Number 20, it looks like, underneath. Volcanzic will pick up the personal, as Pat Hayes said. Eagle Eyes Hayes, they call him. Baseline out of bounds for the Bruins.
Speaking of Braden, so what a good kid Braden is. I show up to the game, freshman JV game. He's over here doing homework.
I did see him doing some homework. Hopefully the due date isn't coming up soon. As a teacher, I know that oftentimes you have a couple days before that work's due. As Garnett also checking in for the Bruins, working it around. A little bit of a 5-out motion here, it looks like, Pat, for the Bruins. A little different look with Hayes out of the game. But a nice rebound underneath by Rosa as AP's 3 no good. Underneath, Garnett's shot was blocked. Jump ball was had, and Lakewood will take back possession as Jabonowski and Cut come back into the game for Lakewood.
Getting Drew back in there to rebound the basketball.
We'll also see Hakeem the Dream coming back in. He checks in, which was a much-needed scoring punch for the Rangers tonight. 33-26, under 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Hamden way out of control and out of bounds. He's going to be lucky to retain possession on that one. Not sure what he saw there, Pat.
Yeah, that was we got lucky to get that ball back.
Hakeem comes off a screen. Hamden doesn't have many options. He finds a contested Hollenberg who's able to pull it down. Cut works from the corner. Nice pass over to Hakeem. That three-pointer is nothing but net. Hakeem, the dream. I've said the dream so much you think we're in REM cycle sleep right now the way this kid's playing tonight.
Man, he's got, we only have 36 points. He's creeping up there, man.
Good to see his shot falling for Hakeem. He started out the year shooting so hot. Has had some tough games from behind the arc as, boy, what a tough finish by number 1, AP. The senior guard gets it to roll off the rim. There goes Hakeem again, and Hakeem the Dream is doing it all. That one stolen away. Ball's on the ground, and AP was able to corral it. Cervenka the shot fake in the mid-range. That one off the front rim, pulled down underneath there, but the layup is no good from Rini. That one thrown away, and Hakeem goes tumbling into the pep band area. Luckily, there's no keyboards or drums over there tonight.
Oh, man, you love to see that. The Rangers run, the whole bench running to go help him up. Know how hard he's been working.
Boy, Pat, what a take by Hakeem there. He's going to sub back out. Boy, he can give it to you in spurts.
Yeah. Get him out, get him some water, get him back in here.
And that's all the effort that Coach Kamak and the rest of the Ranger coaching staff was asking from them last night from Holy Name. But, Pat, it's deflating when the other team's making that many outside shots like Holy Name was. Credit to them last night. It can take the wind out of your sails.
Yeah, it is tough to stay involved when they're raining threes, but the Rangers just got to do a better job of contesting those threes.
Certainly, they have been playing their game tonight here at Lakewood High School. AP bumped underneath by Jablanowski. Coach Kamak asking for the clarification on a shooting or common foul. Will not get the answer he's looking for.
Yeah, I thought he was passing the ball. It should have been on the floor, but
Well, Pat, if you want to get your shirt out of the car, I'm sure they could use your opinion down there.
I stick to the lower level games.
As AP knocks down the first one, he'll line up his second. Couple of subs coming in for the Bruins and the Rangers. Harper back into the game for Lakewood. Yeah, second free throw up and in. Nice shooting stroke from the senior guard out of Charles A. Mooney. Harper working against this three-quarters press here by the Bruins. It's been effective so far when Padua has been able to put it in. Hamden working. That pass tipped out of bounds by number 10, Gannett. Out of St. Albert.
Got to fake a pass to make a pass there.
Especially when you're
high.
Jumping to make a pass, right, Pat? You got to be playing off 2 feet there. If you're jump, the defense knows something's coming.
Yeah, jump pass there, never good.
Hamden working in the corner. 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Jab step, found himself with 2 Padua Bruins in the air. He's going to get it to the corner over to Jablanowski. Jablanowski looking underneath. Hollenberg has it now as Lakewood searching for an open player. It's Hamden who finds himself open for 3. That one no good. And Padua will push it the other way with under 2 minutes remaining. Hollenberg a little too attached to the hip, and he fouled Nick Rini. Hamden will check out. Volcanzic will check in.
I'd love to see Hakeem get back in there to give us some more offense.
You think maybe Coach Kamak is watching his minutes here with the amount of effort he's putting in because he's going to be able to put his stamp in the fourth quarter here where Lakewood's really going to need it to seal this game.
Yeah, he'll probably sit the rest of the third just with a minute 30. He's kind of smart about getting guys breaks at certain times.
As a nice pass underneath found its way into Gannett's hands, and he finishes the layup there. Just a 6-point game for Lakewood. And Padua has a little discrepancy there on the touch line. They thought Jablanowski went early.
Yeah, he never had possession of it.
Travel on the sophomore, and Padua will have a chance to make this a 2-possession game. Maybe even a 1-possession game. They haven't necessarily taken a lot of shots from deep tonight, Pat, and that's kind of played into Lakewood's hands, obviously. Seeing Holy Name knock down double-digit 3-pointers last night is something that Lakewood was keying in on tonight. It could be the Rangers' defensive scheme, or it could be Padua's ability to get to the rim.
The majority of their points are second chance tonight.
That one touches the rim and in by AP, and Padua has this lead down to 4. Hollenberg from deep. That one, no good. A misfire from Hollenberg will give the ball back to Padua with 41 seconds left, Pat, and they trail by 4.
Need to get a stop here for the Rangers going into the fourth quarter.
Haven't seen a lot of Jesse Hayes or Anthony Perry, the two big men for Padua, but that lineup has gotten them back in the game here as it's given some room for guys like Cervenka and Papula to attack.
Yeah, kind of matching the Rangers' size, which I'm a little surprised because it seems like Hayes has had a pretty good night.
Certainly.
With
a little bit of foul trouble, I believe, is
yes.
the reason. Good job by Lakewood to get the big man moving his feet. Hakeem matches up against AP, as it'll now be Grayer working around. Cervenka pulls a deep one. That one no good. The race for the rebound is on. AP stepped on the touchline, and the ball will go back to Lakewood. Good job by the Rangers to chase that one down.
Got to know that
17.7 here.
And trapping here. Be strong
got
with
the full length of the court to go.
Get somebody middle.
15 seconds remaining. Harper surveying the court. Looking for the skip pass. He didn't have it. Grayer finds Jablonowski, who jab steps. And Jablonowski's jab step leads to a jab in the arm for the Rangers. Papula's three, no good. And boy, what a heady play by the sophomore. And Lakewood is back up to a 6-point advantage. Just 8 more minutes to play in this one, Pat. And boy, some really good, smart basketball from the Rangers in that quarter.
Yeah, it's awesome to see when they stay composed, keep their head up, make the right play.
And the fourth quarter is brought to you by First Federal of Lakewood. We're so glad you're going to join us for the last 8 minutes if you're out there tuning in to the Lakewood Sports Channel. It's been a good one tonight, and we're really happy to be bringing a game that has had so much energy and has been such a fun atmosphere here at Lakewood High School. And, hey, if you're looking for some fun basketball energy this spring and summer, make sure you sign up for the Journey Basketball Hoopers Showcase on April 2nd and June 4th out at the Splash Zone in Oberlin. Will you be diving into a pool out there in the Splash Zone at Oberlin?
Not right now.
I'm sure they could sign you on as some tournament entertainment, as the Hoopers Showcase will have 3-on-3, 4-on-4, and 5-on-5 games. It'll be $99 per showcase or $150 for both on April 2nd and June 4th. If you're interested in participating, go ahead and contact Journey Basketball Club at journeybasketballclub@gmail.com or contact Joe Sagayan, the director, for more information. That'll be a fun one this spring out there at the Splash Zone. And it's been a Splash Zone for the Lakewood Rangers, specifically Hakeem Karan. What a third quarter the Dream had.
Yeah, he's done a great job, and got a little rest to end the quarter. He came back in late there, but now he should be fresh for the fourth quarter run.
As Padua will inbound it here, it'll be Hakeem picking up AP. Boy, he has done a good job defensively on the senior guard. Nice job by Grayer to hear Coach Kamock's warning of the backside pick, and stepped into the passing lane to force the turnover. Harper underneath, working it around. Hakeem tees one up, no good. But chases down the rebound, Pat. He's going to need an IV after this game with the effort that he's putting in.
Yeah, he's really working hard. I mean, all the Rangers are. And it's really important for the Rangers to get stops here because Padua wants to show that pressure. They want to trap and cause turnovers. And if we get stops, they can't.
And they're going to call a foul underneath on Lakewood.
Tough one here.
As Padua will inbound this one underneath, as Luca George will check back into the game for the Rangers. Good to see the sophomore getting some minutes tonight. Checks in for Jablonowski, who had a nice driving layup to end the third quarter. Hayes tried to get into his block position, but George fouled him on the way in.
This is where Coach Kamak goes, hey, guys, I know we're fouling, but 7-1, come on.
It'll certainly be a storyline as Padua will be in the bonus the rest of the way, Pat, here for the next 7 minutes and 26 seconds. Nice rebound underneath by Nick Reaney, the senior guard out of St. Michael. He jumped through the air to grab that putback.
Inexcusable. Free throw box outs, or offensive rebounds.
It's
are
2-on-1.
Yeah.
As we have a 4-point game. Hakeem's open in the corner. He tees up a three. That one is good. Don't sleep on Hakeem the Dream.
And I'll tell you what, Grant, it is a lot more fun when we're making some shots.
The 3-point hot shooting hand has found its way on to the right hand of Hakeem Karan after it slipped on Holy Names last night. George doing his best in the post against a tough assignment. Grayer working on the perimeter. Gannett found himself underneath, and that floater is good. Got too deep into the paint there, Pat, without any resistance. And a 30-second timeout will be taken by head coach Brian Ansberry. And a 5-point lead right now is dwindling fast for the Rangers. Man, Hakeem has really kept them in this one.
He has at least half of the Rangers' points.
Want to give a big shout out to our friends over at First Federal, Harrington Moving, Journey Basketball Club, and specifically NewCastle Roofing. They are specializing in roofing and remodeling, and they are owned by physics teacher Dave Hilly. Call them up today for residential roofing and repairs, gutters, siding, windows, doors, masonry, skylights, and commercial flat roofs. Call NewCastle for a free quote at 440-930-2399.
They do it all.
They do it all. You got a house in Strongsville, Pat?
Yes.
You'll be calling NewCastle Roofing up pretty soon. And
Hopefully
I
not.
can't see you putting in a new skylight.
No.
No.
I do have a skylight, too.
It'll need repaired at some point.
Hey, hope not anytime soon.
Lakewood will inbound it here as we'll get more of the blueprints on Hayes' Strongsville home in the postgame show. It'll be on streaming only. As a foul is called on Hollenberg, he can't believe it. Coach Kamach can't believe it. And it'll be 8 fouls to Lakewood's 1 now for the Bruins.
Post-game show with Campy Russell and Grant Graves.
Yes, we have on-site in studio. Tees up this one, and the free throw is good from number 10, George Gannett, the junior guard from St. Albert.
Rangers got to handle pressure down the stretch.
Free throw up and in, and Pat, when anything becomes free throws for Padua, this is going to be a tricky situation to navigate for Coach Kamach. Not only from, obviously the 1-on-1 situation, but working combinations and lineups that may have not played a lot of minutes together because of the foul trouble. Blocking foul on there by Gannett after knocking down his free throws as Harper barreled into him there.
Yeah, it's going to be tough because, it's a combination of we're in foul trouble and limit turnovers and, we only have 2 timeouts.
Harper working it here. Throws it into the waiting arms of Gannett. Bounce pass underneath to AP, the acrobatic layup and finish on Harper, and it's suddenly a 1-point game. Too physical, Padua was on the press there as Harper was fouled, and Hamden, another ball handler, will check back in for the Rangers.
Yeah, you can't dribble through the press. You got to move the ball to the pass. We did it in the first quarter or the second quarter. We hit the middle, hit the opposite, got an easy layup.
Lakewood will inbound here. Hamden, cross-court pass to Karan. Karan has had the hot hand in the second half for the Rangers. Skips it over to Hamden. Lakewood looking for some offense here. It may come on the shooting hand of number 10. Karan's going to pull this one out and work against the freshman. Hayes in there along with Papula, Cervenka, and number 10 Gannett in there as well. And they're going to call a charge on Karan. That'll be the 9th foul on the Rangers.
Won't be shooting because it's a player control.
Player control foul, our resident referee, Pat Hayes. How many games today, Pat?
I only had 3. 6 tomorrow.
6 tomorrow. He does it all, folks, for the Northeast Ohio basketball landscape. If there's a gym with lights on, you can bet Pat Hayes is in it. Hayes calling for the ball as he's matched up against the much shorter Hollenberg. Hollenberg doing a good job to deny. Padua not looking into him. Albadieren applying some good defense underneath there.
Hamden's got to help on the
2 Rangers came from the help side there, Pat. You can tell the emphasis is on not letting him turn over that left shoulder. Albadieren, a good shift there. He'll check out. Harper will check in. Hamden, Grayer, Karan, Hollenberg in there for the Rangers as well. Cervenka working it around. He finds AP. AP looking inside to Hayes. AP takes it himself. Found the open crease in the Ranger defense. And boy, Pat, you can't let the AP split you like that. That's too easy of a finish for the senior guard.
Yeah, it's a really difficult task because he's so fast, and then they're so worried about taking away Hayes.
Hollenberg triple is good. Andre Hollenberg coming to the rescue for the Lakewood offense. Big shot there by the senior, Pat. He's been working hard all night. Good to see the one fall down for number 3.
Oh, yeah. He's been giving really max effort. I mean,
no Jablonowski in the game. Grayer's on a perimeter assignment. It's tough business down there for Hollenberg right now.
I mean, he's given up a foot. He's given up a foot on Hayes. Ooh, Rangers got to slow it down. Let's get one good one. You know.
Hamden working himself into the paint. An errant pass will be thrown ahead to Papula. His gather step was cut off by Hamden. And they're going to ask why on the Lakewood bench on that one, as he will go to the line to try to tie this one up. Pat, we've seen this 9-point lead evaporate pretty fast.
We did. And, we wanted to take some time off the clock, get a good one, and unfortunately we threw the ball away.
Papula lines up this first free throw. He's been automatic tonight. As now 1 point separates the Bruins and the Rangers. This has been a good one, Pat. Always good when you can get a couple of close friends squaring off, a couple of guys who know each other, and a couple programs that have a good history together, Padua and Lakewood. And we got a tie game here with just 4 minutes left. This has been a good one on the Lakewood Sports Channel, presented by First Federal of Lakewood. Grayer got himself out of trouble. Hamden controls it. Karan's open for 3. He's going to lose the handle. AP's going to dive on him, and they're going to say that a foul will be assessed to Papula. Ansbury can't believe that one, as he was going for the jump ball there, but wasn't not granted access.
Yeah, that good for the Rangers there, because that could have been bad.
Lakewood working it underneath the hoop here. They'll have a baseline out of bounds. Grayer sets the screen. Harper thought about a corner triple, but he was cut off by number 11, Nick Reaney. Curl into the middle by Hamden, opens it up for Hollenberg. His layup is good. And Andre Hollenberg with the Rangers' last 5 points, keeping them afloat.
And he's done a pretty good job of that all season, being able to attack. It's nice to see him finish around the rim.
It's just a 2-point game, separates the Bruins and the Rangers. Papula gets in underneath, and they're going to assess a blocking foul to number 3, Hollenberg. He's got to be careful there with the amount of fouls that he's had this quarter.
Yeah, it's a rock and a hard place, because you're trying to cut off such a fast player in AP, and assess a foul. He's been automatic from the line. Hopefully, I do the
no announcer jinx on that one.
I'm trying. But Miles Harper has a tall task here on a free throw box out. You got to pinch on him. Andre's got to get shooter, and you got to go down and get a good offensive possession.
What are you looking for the Rangers on this next offensive position here, Pat?
Take your time. Get a good one. They're not pressing right here, so move the basketball until you get a good one. Penetrate, pitch, maybe find one of your shooters.
Coming up on 3 minutes, 48-48. We are all knotted up on the Lakewood Sports Channel on the corner of Bunsen Franklin. And we are presented by First Federal of Lakewood, as Hamden's floater over the outstretched arms of 6'7" Jesse Hayes doesn't go. And Padua will have a chance to take the lead. You know this ball is going to hand up in the arms of Papula, the guard from Charles A. Mooney. He's been doing that since middle school. The pull-up from the free throw line. And Padua has a 2-point lead.
A lot of game left. We don't need to force anything. Still get a good look here.
Lakewood and Padua battling this one out. That one underneath, no good. Padua tipped it. Hollenberg threw it, tried to save it, but gave it to the Bruins. Karan's back on defense. The putback is in by number 11, Nick Reaney, as Rosa couldn't come up with that one. and Coach Kamok will call a timeout and a 4-point lead with just 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, it was Padua called
Padua timeout. Padua timeout.
I really thought he got away with one. I thought he shuffled the shoes there on his
It looked a little unorthodox, his take to the rim there, but Pat, if you're Lakewood, you just can't have that lapse on offense right there. You got to wait for a better shot. The shots are coming at a premium right now.
Correct, yeah, and for the Rangers now, got to take care of the basketball. There's still a lot of game left, so you don't need to force anything. Let's get a good shot, get a good look, and get this within one possession game.
Shout out to everybody joining us on YouTube tonight, on Twitter, on the Lakewood Sports Channel, on Boxcast. This has been a good one. Glad you could tune in on your Saturday night and make Lakewood Ranger basketball a part of it. Nice JV and freshman game tonight, Pat. Those were two close ones, two competitively played games. And Lakewood is hoping to get on the win column tonight here as they will regroup on Tuesday against Valley Forge. That'll be a big conference game. And then they go Parma, Buckeye, Elyria, Holy Name, and Buckeye once again to round out the year. A lot of big games still on the schedule, and we'll have them for you on the Lakewood Sports Channel.
Yes, Tuesday was supposed to be an off day. It's the reschedule of the snow day.
As Lakewood will inbound underneath their own basket, just 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining here. 2 timeouts for Lakewood, 2 timeouts for Padua, 10 fouls on the Rangers, 4 fouls on the Bruins. A 4-point game separates the men in orange and our purple and gold Rangers. Hamden's going to receive a screen from Grayer. Hayes cuts him off at the top of the key. What a catch by Grayer. He put it up right away and couldn't get that one to go. As Padua will now have the clock on their side, up 2 possessions.
Yeah, that was a scary pass by Michael Hamden. Luckily,
tipped away by Karan, and that one will go to the Lakewood Rangers. What a defensive effort and trap by Hamden and Karan. Big moment here, Pat. You got to get this to a 1-possession game and keep Padua out of their stall offense.
Yes, yeah, you got to.
They have shot exceptionally at the free throw line tonight.
Oh, yes, they have. AP has been money.
Karan thought about it, in and out crossover, loses the handle. He will try to regroup. Harper comes over and grabs it, and one of those 2 timeouts left for head coach Alex Kamok will be taken with just 1 minute and 43 seconds remaining. Pat, are you drawing up something here? Are you trying to get Karan a look, or maybe you're going to Harper or Hollenberg from deep? What are you thinking here?
Yeah, you're definitely going to look at something. I mean, you don't need to rush. Still a lot of time left, but you are going to say, hey, you got to execute. So, you know what? He's probably not drawing anything new up. He's probably going, hey, let's run our play and run it correctly and get a bucket here. It doesn't, just execute.
As Lakewood will get a talking to from Coach Kamok. Padua in there with Coach Ansberry right now, 2 of the best in the business here in Northeast Ohio. Going to coach their teams up towards the end of this one with just 1 minute and 43 seconds remaining. If you're tuning in on the Lakewood Sports Channel, thanks so much for supporting us. If you want to support the channel, head over to golakewood.org. Click on the Lakewood Sports Channel tab and donate today. Some youth players in the stands tonight. We got the girls basketball team here, fresh off their win against Normandy on Senior Day, in the stands tonight, and they're hoping that Lakewood can overcome this 4-point deficit, Pat.
Yeah, and they definitely can. I mean, let's get a good bucket here.
Harper will take it, and he'll set up the set drawn by Coach Kamok. Harper going to reset here with just 1 minute and 30 remaining in this one. It's been a good one here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Karan, the ball fake. He got underneath. That layup no good. Hayes affected the shot and got the rebound tipped over to number 11, Reaney. What a defensive effort. Cervenka, the freshman, pulls it out as Hamden rides his hip. Rosa going to work it, and now Padua's going to go into their stall. Don't want to see the ball in AP's hands. He's been automatic from the free throw line. Cervenka has it. He gets it off to Reaney. Down low to Hayes, who put it up, and they're going to say he was fouled underneath. But, Pat, if you had to take your pick of who to foul, Hayes might be the one.
Yeah, he definitely don't want to foul AP, that's tough. That was a lot of time to run off the clock. I think Coach Kamok wanted him to trap, and they weren't, able to get it. Padua was moving the ball pretty quickly.
Hayes shooting 2, but that first one is pure for the junior 6'7" forward out of St. Adalbert. Grayer will check out. Jablanowski is in. Karan and the rest of the gang taking direction from the sideline as that one rims out, and it's just a 5-point game now with under a minute remaining.
Still 2 possessions.
Lakewood coming the other way. Hamden jump stops underneath that one. Tipped to Hollenberg for 3. What a play! Drew Jablanowski, a diving save. Tipped it to Hollenberg. And folks, if that one's not on SportsCenter tomorrow, color me shocked.
That one was maximum effort. That was fantastic.
What a play by Jablanowski. We expect nothing less, but with under 30 seconds, Lakewood's going to have to foul here. 2-point lead for Padua. Reaney got into the middle. AP has it, and now Harper has no choice but to foul. And, Pat, that is not a sight that you want to see if you are the Rangers.
No, you do not want him going to the line.
53-51, our lead here that Padua has worked their way up to with just 21.3 seconds remaining. And a miss from the line for Papula. A rare miss for the senior guards.
So my guess is we need a free throw box out. Drew Jab's got to really get into Hayes. Coach Kamak is going to call timeout. Oh, and Coach Amberry is going to call timeout. Coach, don't be surprised. Coach Kamak calls one once we get it past half court.
Just one timeout remaining, but the most critical possession of the night coming up for the Rangers. 51-54. Lakewood has nailed a couple threes in the second half, Pat. They've had a much better shooting night tonight than they did against Holy Name just 24 hours ago. So you're hoping that one of these hot shooters, Karan, Harper, or Hollenberg, maybe even Jablanowski, can knock one down from deep, as they will go with, it looks like, Harper, Hamden, Hollenberg, Karan, and Jablanowski. Any guy can hoist it from deep in that lineup, making you dangerous, and it'll be Hayes, Papula, number 2, Tony Rosa, Nick Reaney, and number 10, George Gannett will come out for the Bruins here.
Yeah, I think Padua was discussing, should we pressure? Should we stay back? What do we do here?
What's your opinion on possibly fouling before Lakewood can put a 3 up?
Oh, what do we got? They have some fouls to give.
Take you out of their set. I mean, Coach Kamak's only going to talk about one set in the huddle there, and he's only got one timeout left.
I don't know Padua very well. It's if you have confidence and smart, if they're smart basketball players,
and
then
they can do it right. You don't, obviously, the nightmare would be shooting.
Shooting
right.
foul. So you got to be smart about it.
Lots of possible endings to this one on the Lakewood Sports Channel, presented by First Federal of Lakewood. 21.3 seconds remains. 54-51. Padua leads the Rangers. Hamden will bring it into the forecourt. He works. Karan sets himself open from a screen. That 3 is up and good. Hakeem the Dream. What a set drawn up by the Ranger coaching staff. And Hakeem Karan has tied this one up with just 11.8 seconds remaining.
So now the Rangers need to defend their court. Get a stop.
Lakewood and Padua locked in a tight one here. We're glad you're joining us on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Pat, this one has been a back-and-forth battle, and with just 11.8 seconds remaining, Lakewood has taken their last timeout. The ball is going to be in Papula's hands here down the stretch. The senior guard from Charles A. Mooney. You're going to talk to Hakeem Karan, who's done a nice job all night if you're Coach Kamak, and say stay in front of his face.
Yeah, you're going to try to take him out of it.
Maybe even 2 guys.
Yeah, make somebody else beat you. That's
it looks like they're going to get number 12, Cervenka, the freshman, back into this one. Gannett, Reaney, Hayes, and Papula will be in there. And for the Rangers, not a lot of changes there. But, man, Coach Kamak is fired up in that huddle along with the rest of the squad, as Lakewood hoping to force this one, maybe even to overtime, and maybe even have a chance at the end here. But no timeouts remaining for Lakewood, 1 remaining for Padua. So if they don't see something they were prepared for, Coach Ansberry can call those guys back to the bench.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Rangers have done a pretty good job of getting their hands on the basketball. Now, you do not want to foul if you're the Rangers here. You got to play straight up great defense. As you said, they got 2 guys flanked on AP.
Don't let anybody behind you here as the middle is open. They're going to play with a 0 safety coverage. 10 seconds remaining. Gannett's pressing it up the floor. Timeout taken by number 10, the junior, as Coach Ansbury will have a chance to draw up his half-court set. Just 7.4 seconds remaining. 54-54. Pat, how did we get here? Well, an errant pass was saved by a diving Jablinowski, tip to Hollenberg, who knocked down a contested three to cut the lead to three. It was, cut the lead to two. Papua was fouled on the other end. He went 1 for 2. And then coming off 2 stagger screens was Hakeem the Dream. It's been his night, and it was fitting that he knocked down the game-tying three-pointer. And that's where we find ourselves here on the Lakewood Sports Channel, presented by First Federal of Lakewood. Just 7.4 seconds here, Pat. Do you have 1 pass in mind, 2 passes in mind? How many screens do you think we'll see for the Padua Bruins when this thing's getting inbounded here?
So what they're going to do, they're going to do everything they can to get AP the ball.
So maybe, because you got to think you're going to see a couple defenders thrown at him.
They're going to get it in, and I would assume you're going to see a ball screen. Try to get something going towards the hoop.
Lakewood and Padua locked in a tight one. This is becoming an instant classic here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Knotted up at 54 apiece, 7.4 seconds remaining. Reaney comes into the backcourt. Hayes goes. Now they're going to find it into Cervenka's hands. AP finds himself with the ball. Karan, no foul, and we're going to go. They're going to confer on this one, and they're going to say we're going to have the referees walk off, and Reaney puts in the putback with no time remaining. What a follow-up offensive rebound by Nick Reaney, the senior guard from St. Michael, and he's going to send Padua back to Parma winners in this one, and this is a stunned Lakewood crowd.
Weak side box out. Actually, it was strong side box out. You took it from the same side. You got to box out. Oh, that's just heart-wrenching.
You saw the referees looking at each other, Pat, on that one, but they had the side judge here, the one closest to the scorer's table, say that one got in before the buzzer. We have our replay here on the Lakewood Sports Channel. We're going to watch it back in tape delay here and let you know if that was the correct call. And, Pat, it's just a heartbreaker for the Rangers here, as, you know, they had such a effort to get back into the game here, as Padua is able to take this one at the final buzzer.
Really, really good, I mean, defensively. Making AP take a tough shot.
Oh, boy, Pat, I think he got it off with 0.1 seconds remaining.
Yeah,
what a play, and big credit to the senior. Nick Reaney had a great night tonight, and he was Johnny on the spot at the end of the game for the Bruins. A heartbreaker here, but, Pat, boy, are you excited that the Rangers put in the type of effort that they did tonight.
Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, that's just heart-wrenching. They can't hang their hat, though. They played really tough. I mean, Hakeem played lights out. Guys hit some big shots. I mean, that dive by Drew Jab is the play of the year so far. And, wow, I mean, just
a heartbreaking one. Not a conference game, fortunately, for the Rangers, but the heart, the hustle, the scoring you saw from Karan, Hollenberg, and the rest of the gang. Boy, you are really encouraged by the chances the purple and gold will have as they finish up GLC East Conference play over these next few weeks. So for Danny Arth on the camera, for Pat Hayes and Grant Graves on the call tonight, it was a classic, but it didn't fall the Rangers' way. We hope you have a good rest of your Saturday. Thanks for tuning in for the doubleheader today on the Lakewood Sports Channel. Have a good night.